Hey everyone, it is February and this is my plan with me for the month. A few people were asking if they have to buy all these expensive supplies, and you don't. So this is a Crayola hot pink broadline marker and my Pigma micron pens. I will only be using Crayola broadline markers this month in these spreads and layouts, and I will only be using these pens. So if you're someone who's just getting started, I highly suggest you invest in these two things. They're affordable and they're a great way to get started. My Crayola broadline markers are from the 40 pack. So there's a ton of colors to choose from. For February, I am sticking with shades of pink and purple because clearly love, hearts are my theme. Sorry guys, I couldn't resist it. It's Valentine's Day and I love hearts. I love pink and purple, so I had to roll with it. So here's my hot pink Crayola broadline marker I'm using here to add a pop of color to my quote page. Do what you love what you do. It's a great reminder for me, especially when life gets a little busy and a little stressful. If we're talking basics in terms of supplies, definitely snag an eraser. Actually, snag this eraser. Don't be afraid if you're new or not so new to sketch everything out before. It'll take that stress of that first page out of the equation, and then you can erase all the pencil marks when you're done. I mentioned last month in January that I've got kind of a minimalist vibe going, and I'm still feeling that. So you're going to see what I feel is my version of minimalist with some pops of color. So sticking with the heart theme for February, I drew a big heart, messed it up a little, and it's all good, guys. You can hand draw all these little hearts, no problem. You could stamp them or stencil them, but hand drawing, you're not going to notice if they're a little wonky in your opinion. For colors on this one, I am using Tropical Violet and Hot Magenta from my Crayola Broadline box. I use about 8 colors, I think, in this whole thing for February, and I just use different combinations of them. Pinks and purples, also gray, and then I'll use my pen for some black. In this layout, there will be room under February if you want to add a little calendar. I kind of liked it plain, so we'll see what happens. So this is where you'll really start to see me use these hearts on lines that I got hooked on for this month. If you're shopping and you don't have these green little rulers, you need them. They come in a 3-pack, and they have a square one, a circle, and a triangle. The square and circle I use in this month, and they're awesome. So you can draw this monthly spread or use these squares to make the boxes. I would use the squares. I sketched it out and measured it to make sure they fit, because that's where I do get a little, I can handle mistakes, but when I measure, I really want it to be right, because otherwise it bothers me, the spacing. So you can see that for my monthly for February, this ruler is clutch. It's also pretty affordable. So I will link all of these supplies in the description. They are my basic supplies. I have fallen in love with stamps also now that I was brave enough to use them. So this set has some day of the week stamps I use, and also this month and this week I use on these pages, and then on another page I've got planned out. You'll see in a little bit. I will link these below as well as the acrylic block and the stamp pad. They're all very affordable as well, and they're fun, y'all. Don't be scared of the stamps like I was for a while. So this is where you'll see me start this recurring theme of the hearts. Some is hand-drawn. You can hand-draw it all. I broke out the ruler because sometimes I just need some straight lines in my life, and I'm not the best at straight lines, but you can hand-draw it all. No fear. Have no fear there. I'm going to add color to all these little hearts in just a minute, so it doesn't matter if they're not perfect or whatever. They're cute, right? So I'm using pink for this one, hot magenta, weird, but yes, hot magenta, gray. So 3 of my markers from my Crayola broadlines. They all came in that 40 count pack, so plenty of choices. And I might use some other things normally here, like my mild liners, but these Crayola markers work great as well. Then a quick numbering. Don't forget, y'all, it's a leap year. And you know what that means. Hopefully, you know what that means. It means don't forget the 29th. So I think this monthly layout is cute and it's really easy to do. You can use the basic layout and add the cute factor in any way you want with the hearts in different colors, or not even with the hearts, with something else, and it works really well. I like the addition of the gray with the pink and the black. Those are actually my wedding colors, so no wonder I like them. So my birthday is February 2nd. I will be showing you all on Instagram how to do this little birthday page. But for my week here that transitions from January into February, I use Kelly Creates Stamps and Tropical Violet marker. All right, so this is my first big weekly for February. I am using Wild Orchid and gray, and then my black pen, obviously, and my ruler. This ruler, you need to have it if you don't have it, guys. It comes in the 3-pack, like I mentioned, and it's really affordable. So all of the hearts on this page are hand-drawn again. Oh, wait, most of them are hand-drawn. I do plan on using a stencil in a minute, and I'll show it to you. I know a lot of people asked me more about stencils, so I did pull out a little bit of stencil work here just to show you another way to use them. Stencils are another great thing to invest in if you want to get a lot of supplies for your money. I'm going to use the day of the week stamps again, and I sketched this out without really planning. So I'm going to stamp, I think, before I finish my lines, drawing my lines to see how I want to do each day of the week because I don't want to cross over the words. So I'm going to stamp first here using these clear stamps and my acrylic block and stamp pad. They're all linked in the description. And make sure you use baby wipes or paper towels to clean off the stamps each time, and try not to make a big mess like I sometimes do, like ink everywhere. I almost got ink everywhere a few times on this because I get a little there. I need to wipe it. Clean it off, guys. Don't be afraid to clean it off. All right, so I did decide I want to draw lines, but I'm going to not make them cross that letter Y, just because then it kind of goes along with my hearts in the days of the week where the lines don't cross them. And that's just some silly little detail that made me happy. All right, so this is from the stencil set. I use the same stencil set for this entire month, but this one has a few little hearts that I'm going to use to number each day. And it makes a little bit of a different shape of a heart, but there you can see stencils work great. And then I have a secret confession about this font that I'm using. At the Petite Planner, one of our hints when it comes to writing is don't be afraid to trace. So I traced that new font. I'm not sure if I'm going to color it in yet or if I'm going to roll with it being black. I've got to think. So I'm going to save that part till last, and I'm going to do my hearts on the lines because I feel good about those. They're easy. I don't have to stress about what colors I might use. All right, so here is the Wild Orchid, and I'm just going to use it around the page to color in some different hearts, including my numbers of the week there, and then a few other places. And then I'm also going to use the gray and the black to see how it all looks before I decide on that February 3 through 9, because I might go solid black, maybe, I'm not sure. And basically, don't be afraid, y'all. You're not going to mess it up. It's going to look good even if you do mess it up or whatever you think you did. You have to just make decisions sometimes, and it will be cute enough or whatever you like if you want it to be minimal or super colorful. But yes, just using my black and gray and purple in this one instead of pink. I'm debating, I don't know, Wild Orchid or black. I really think I'm going to go with black because I like the way the color is on the page right now. So I am going to do the letters, color them all in black. And I did trace this font using my iPad off of dafont.com. And I can show you all how to do that sometime if you are interested. My iPad, and I have a handy light table app that works wonders. So I'll just finish coloring this in, and there's the first week of February. All right, on to the second week. Again, here we go. Black, Wild Orchid, which I'm really loving Wild Orchid, and then Primrose, which I have no idea what color Primrose really is, but it's kind of a darker purple here. This is a really simple weekly spread. Nothing too complicated in terms of drawing, and it does give Saturday and Sunday each their own. All right, I use the stencil a lot from here on out. I'm telling you, just warning you. It's this 3 heart stencil. It comes from the same pack as the other one I showed you. That pack is a really good deal because it comes with 20 stencils, I think, 20 different ones, all sorts of different things. So I will link that below. It's a great investment. It comes with way more than just hearts, banners. All sorts of things. I'll have to show it to y'all. It's one of my favorite stencil sets for those of you who are asking me about stencils and want to use them more. It's a great way. I think it's like usually between $8 and $10 on Amazon, and you get 20 different stencils. So for February, I just did some basic block letters, but I made instead of circles, I made hearts. And I'm going to put little lines to kind of make them look like they're glowing. And that's going to go throughout this whole weekly spread. You'll see I do have my hearts on lines in just a minute again, but I wanted to change it up a little. So you see the hearts going through the entire month, but each one is a little bit different. You don't have to have each page be entirely different, y'all. You can kind of roll with a theme. Or if you don't want to roll with a theme and you want them to each be entirely different and fun, you'll see months where I do that too. I did a little bit more of that in January as well. You can hand draw lines. Don't be afraid to hand draw them. Or be like me. And if there's a straight line involved, break out the ruler. I'll admit it. I have to when it's a straight line. I just have to break out the ruler most of the time. So I mentioned last month that I had fallen off the weekly wagon at the end of 2019, but I was giving them a go here again this month. Well, this year, I mean. So here's Primrose. I'm going to use Primrose to start. A lot of Primrose because I felt like I needed a darker color. A little bit of that dark coming in. But in January, my use of my weeklies, I don't know. It hasn't been great. This month, I made a lot of long rectangular. So maybe I can do more to-do list weeklies. Because to-do lists, I work well with to-do lists versus if I'm just going to do a calendar situation, I want to put it on my monthly. So for the last week of February, I am doing something totally different than you've seen. It still is going to have my hearts and my line, but I'm going to roll with circles. This ruler is from that pack of 3, the one that you've seen me using already. I'm going to use pink and hot magenta for this, so it's going to be all pink and black. But yes, this comes, and also I'm going to use a stamp in a minute. But there's my line. It's going to have hearts, and then each of these circles I'm going to go around. I'm not going to make you watch all of that, but I'm going to go around all the circles with my little hearts, but I'm not sure if I'm going to add color to them yet. I need to see what it all kind of looks like. So I'll hold off on that. Stamping, here we go again. I told you I'm hooked on stamping. I'm getting better at it, I think, and I really like the way it looks. So color here, I'm going to go right here. I don't know if I love what I did, what I'm doing, but it's okay. Next time I might do more brush lettering for those days, numbers of the week. But I wanted to just do it quick and easy for all of y'all, especially my beginners who are joining us these first few months as they break into their journal. I want you to know anybody can do it. It doesn't have to all be complicated to still get that kind of artsy look that you want. I decided, I think I'm just going to do the hearts, the little hearts on the lines colored, and I'm going to leave those circles black and white. I'm worried it will be just a lot of messy color. So we're just going to stick with minimal color here. And don't forget the 29th. It's a leap year, y'all. My last page for this month is the anxiety and depression page. Thank you all for the amazing comments and emails you sent about last month's anxiety and depression page. Instead of a typical just general, more of a mood tracker, I decided to really focus on my anxiety and depression. This month, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use this little stencil with the 3 hearts. Use the smaller hearts for my key, which I'll show you in a second. With my therapist, I rate my anxiety and depression each day, 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 10. And I do it for both So last month I did the stars and divided them in half, and I would color one half for my anxiety ranking and one for my depression. I'm going to divide these hearts again in half and do the same thing so I can kind of see how they correlate. It's been great for me to see it on paper, and I know a lot of you have really liked this layout, and I really hope it helps you. I know the struggle with anxiety and depression is real. I live it each day, and know that you're not alone. We're here. We're all together in this. So if you ever just need a place to talk, hey, reach out. I'm here. I get it. So I did want a cute little heading here. Added the little hearts just to keep the theme rolling. And instead of labeling it Mood Tracker, I want it to full out be my anxiety and depression page. It's part of my life, and it is. I don't need to call it anything else because that's what it is. So choosing colors here. I wanted to go bright to darker, so I go pink, wild orchid, tropical violet, then ultraviolet, all from that 40 pack of the Crayola broadline. So the bright is like, you know, really good days, and then as it gets, I have a harder day, it's going to be a darker color. Normally I use kind of a stoplight approach. So this will get colored in as the month goes on, and we can see it at the end. And this is February for me. The only one I didn't show you how to make is coming up, and it's a super easy spread. Hit me up if you want details. And otherwise, as always, if you have comments, concerns, questions, need anything, don't be afraid to email, message, just get in touch. I hope you have a great February.